So, Zach or Z, how long should I wait to exercise after COVID? Whenever you can, although it depends. I mean, I had the long COVID, that went on. So I got COVID January of 2021. I thought I had, avoided it because 2020 was the COVID year, right? And, January or New Year's actually is when I was literally like in bed New Year's Eve, going like, everybody's out having fun and I'm in bed, I'm sick. And then the next morning, New Year's Day, I literally woke up, drank some, sweet tea, and I couldn't taste it. And I was like, oh no, oh, damn it, I've got it. And so I, got tested and I started to recover. And after about a week or so, I was like, good, I'm out of the woods. I just kind of feel a little more run down. And I felt tired, exhausted, and run down for the next 6 months. The entire first half of 2021 for me sucked physically. I would get down on the floor, do one set of push-ups and be like, that's my workout. That's all I've got. And that's how I started to really learn a lot about my adaptive training styles, because like I have no time, no energy, very little strength and stuff for 6 months, but I got to do something. Well, you do what you can with what you have. And that's how I started to really learn about that approach to training. So the bottom line is, don't wait. Do whatever you can. Like maybe that's just some light stretching. Maybe that's going for a quick little walk and just hanging from a pull-up bar to stretch yourself out. Remember, folks, training is about teaching your body information. It doesn't have to be hard and stressful entirely. It's just saying, I need my body to be able to do something. And that doesn't always mean stressing yourself out to the max. So when you're doing something and you're like, oh, I just had COVID, I just had sick, I've just been injured, stuff, still do what you can with what you got. Forget about optimal. Forget about, oh, I need to be in the best shape. I need to be in perfect health in order to work out. No, if I waited until I was perfectly happy and healthy and had all the energy and all the time in the world in order to work out, I'd never work out. I've always got something working against me. This past year, I moved out here to Denver. It has not been an easy year for me mentally and emotionally. I've been doing a lot of like therapy and stuff. I've had a lot of soul crushing anxiety, not so much depression, but just a lot of stuff that's really held me back all year. And if I waited until I was like, I've got to feel like Superman in order to get my workouts in, I wouldn't have worked out for the past 6 months. So we've always kind of got something that's maybe working a little bit against us. And so you work around it, you get rid of it when you can, but if it's going to hold you back a little bit, well, fine, it's holding you back a little bit. So you don't have the time and the energy and the equipment or the resources, whatever. So what? You do what you can with what you've got, because it's still going to be a hell of a lot more than what you would do otherwise if you weren't doing anything at all. I mean, hell, in that study, people did a dumbbell curl and they still made progress because they were still getting something out of it that was a delta and a progressive delta from what they were doing before. So for me, when I had long COVID, I was like, well, I'm not going to be crushing workouts for, I always thought, one more week. I just need another week to recover. And that just kept going perpetually for 6 months. And so I didn't know it was going to be that long, but I was always saying, well, I can't crush myself in a hard blood, sweat, and tears workout like I want. So I'm going to work on technique. I'm going to work on tension control. I'm going to work on my mobility. I'm going to work on my stability. I'm going to learn some new programming ways. I'm going to basically make progress when and where I can. And then when I finally came out of that darkness at the end of that tunnel, man, I hit the ground running. I was going gangbusters because now I had energy and motivation like crazy. And I had all these other new things. I was like, man, my shoulder stability is better. And I got all these new programming ideas and all these other things. And whew, boy, I certainly hit the last part of 2021 with a vengeance. But if I had just been like, oh, I'm sick, long COVID, I can't do anything, I would have spent the last half of that year either making up ground, which probably would have sucked, or just giving up entirely instead of just absolutely destroying things, going after it.